Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Play ball! Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation, let me talk to you about tradition. We have a lot of them. Let me tell you about one that goes back for centuries. It's called anti-Semitism, and it is rampant. Very much like evil is rampant.
Evil is rampant!
It is everywhere today. More so today than during World War II. More so today than at any time in human history. Why? Because there's more humans now. There's more humans that hold traditional beliefs of hating Jews. There aren't so many Nazis now. The torch has been passed, and it's the Muslims that hate the Jews. And Muslim apologists like Cenk Uygur, who is an anti-Semite. Now he tries to couch this and hide. He tries to hide his Jew hatred and Jew jealousy under the guise of criticizing Israel. I mean, that's where they're all collected for the most part. That's where you can really get at them. So criticize Israel, harp on Israel, bring up Israel in the first place. The man brings it up ad nauseum for no damn reason. During his farce of a video yesterday where he attempts to attack Sam Harris and bash Sam Harris, which is very much akin to an illiterate peasant trying to figure out Plato, in the middle of Cenk's attempted analysis of the email conversation between the senile geriatric Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris, the Jewish atheist superhero genius that he is, Cenk decides to do this.
Now, again, I think that maybe Chomsky assumes bad intent too often, but I think he's got a great point when he says Sam Harris assuming good intent on the part of Western powers, the US and Israel, gets to be a little bit comical.
What the hell just happened? Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris were having a non-discussion about morality, specifically talking about a situation in the Sudan with a pharmaceutical plant that got bombed by the Clintons and Chomsky's ridiculous attempt to equate what the US government does with what known terrorist groups do. And they were talking about theoretical situations about morality and the intentions of people's actions. It's like the most obvious thing in the world. If I hit somebody with a car by accident, it's a big difference between me trying to ram somebody and kill them on purpose. This is like real high-level stuff here, guys. Yeah. So Cenk takes that conversation and spends the majority of this hit piece video of his talking about the Jews and Israel for no fucking reason other than he's a Jew-hating sperm whale. The conversation was about the US's foreign policy. He then lumps it in with the US and the West. And who does he include in the West? Is he going to throw Australia in there? Great Britain? France? Germany? Canada? Iceland? Who's going in there? Israel. Period. End of story. Israel. He is trying to latch Israel in on this. Why? Nobody fucking knows, except for me. I do. He's an anti-Semite. You know who else are anti-Semitic? Turkish people. Let me ask you a question. What do you think is a best-selling book in Turkey today? In today's Turkey? Take a wild guess. I'll give you a clue. It's the nickname I have given my German girlfriend. Can you figure it out? It's Mein Kampf. Type it into Google. Type Turkey bestseller list. And you watch the Mein Kampf results that will flood your Google machine. They are raging anti-Semites. This Armenian genocide denier is a Jew-hating anti-Semite. Can I spell that out for you anymore? They are raging. The same way I have a raging boner when I look at the Israeli descendant Natalie Portman.
Now, you see, that's super convenient. That allows you to say, well, I'm morally wealthier than you. I have an abundance of morality, and you are, by definition, because of your religion, immoral. And so when I bomb you, I have great intentions. Now, for example, in the Israel-Palestinian latest incursion into Gaza, in that conflict, well, over 2,000 Palestinians died, most of them civilians, according to the United Nations. But I have heavenly intentions. I have wonderful intentions. Now, about 63 or so, I think, Israelis died. That's horrific. And when they died, they say, you have horrible intentions. No, both sides intended to kill one another. They both have fairly bad intentions. Now, it's so easy for us in the West to turn around and go, but Israel's just defending itself. America got attacked on 9/11.
Shabbat shalom.
Now, in the case of Israel, oh man, you were targeting my civilians. I was targeting your Hamas and your radicals. I happened to kill thousands of your civilians, but I had the best of intentions.
Some things I will not, I cannot tell now.
But wait a minute, I see the Muslims beheading people. I see it on video. The ISIS videos are brutal. They burn people alive. Oh my God, it's a machete. You're right, those are all horrific. Now, what do you think happens when we drop a bomb on someone? If you'd like to see the video of that, it is beyond horrific. They get incinerated alive, their heads explode, their bodies explode. In the case of Israel, you saw the 4 kids on the beach who got hit with a bomb. They were brutally killed there with the best of intentions. Their culture is based on brutality and violence. If they could, they'd kill all of us. They'd kill all the Jews in Israel. The Muslim empires ruled the Middle East for a long time. The Ottoman Empire at least had 500 years. There was a Seljuk Empire, there was a Persian Empire. At different times, there was different Muslim empires. And they didn't kill all the Jews.
It isn't easy. You may ask, why do we stay up there if it's so dangerous? Well, we stay because Anatevka is our home. And how do we keep our balance? That I can tell you in one word. Tradition!
Why are most Jews atheists?
But it's not like, because of Islam, you must kill all the Jews. They had all the power in the world. They could have killed everybody, but they didn't. It's not because of the religion. It's that when you are less powerful, you strike back in vicious ways because you have no other way of striking back, and you get angrier and angrier and more radical and more fundamentalist. Sam tells us if they had perfect weapons, they would obviously use them because us Western powers are wonderful. Interesting. Because Breaking the Silence just had a report out about the Israeli Defense Forces in that Gaza incursion. They say Breaking the Silence has specifically condemned the Israeli Defense Forces for the use of what it describes statistical weapons, mortars and other artillery that are almost impossible to aim accurately. Now let's go to another part of the independent report to get more specific information on this.
Let the rhythm take us higher. You know it, I'm on fire. Check me out.
3, 2, 1, hey!
I'm a golden boy, come here to enjoy. I'm the king of fun. Let me show you how we do it. I'm a golden boy, come here to enjoy. And before I leave, let me show you Tel Aviv.
Now, this is not us saying it. It is people, soldiers in the Israeli military saying, we didn't use the best weapons we had. We didn't use the perfect weapon. We didn't use more precise weapons. We used less precise weapons. We did it on purpose. Make sure they're not Israeli Defense Forces. But if they're not, fire, fire, fire. Don't bother to check if they're civilians. Use less precise weapons because we have to have the appearance of victory. And we have to teach them a lesson. And Sam Harris acknowledges that the Old Testament is the bloodiest and the most violent. But they say, no, it's okay because Christians and the Jews, well, they don't really believe in their texts, whereas the Muslims are evil and dangerous because they believe in those texts. No, the texts are terrible any way you slice it. And the reality is, no one has any moral superiority to any other human being. We all react in a way that is normal given our geopolitical circumstances, okay?
Listen to the absolutely unnecessary, random, arbitrary, obvious, bullshit, biased, absurd Jew-hating rant this guy goes on, where he references a totally debunked and discredited report from a politically biased group of people that do not reveal the sources, and he ignores the reason Israel had to defend itself from the constant rocket fire and kidnappings and violence levied upon its society by the Palestinians. That's ignored, flat out ignored, because this man is a jealous, schlubby, sweaty, bug-eyed, freakish idiot, simple-minded, Jew-hating scum, bitch, who is insanely jealous about the creation of Israel, the fact that they took his precious Ottoman land, the fact that the Ottoman Empire is a shriveled penis of an empire now, the fact that Israel kicked everybody's ass in the 6-Day War, the fact that nobody can touch Israel even if they wanted to, and trust me, they do. He is upset that the penis measuring contest was conducted and won by the Israelis, and they chop off the tip of their penises. And even still, they won the dick measuring contest. That's what's happening here. You don't want to hear it from me? You think I'm a Jew lover? Is that what you're going to say? You're a Zionist? No, I'm an atheist. I'm a white-skinned atheist from America. I have no Jew fro. I have no hair. I come from England and Ireland for 1,000 years of my family's history. I don't give a shit. So spare me the partisan bullshit. I am a third-party objective person analyzing this situation correctly. You don't trust me though? Listen to a Muslim. Sorry, or let me pronounce that correctly. A Muslim, or a gunman, a former gunman, a reformed gunman turned Muslim reformer. Listen to Majid Nawaz, the man that should be president of the universe. Let's listen to him explain to this fat sack of whale shit. Explain to this fat sack of Jew-hating shit, this pile of feces. Explain what anti-Semitism is and how it manifests itself today.
Take them. Majid, I'm going to start with you. You don't have to answer all of them. You can pick the ones you'd like to.
I'd like to pick on Peter. Not pick on Peter. I'd like to pick Peter's question, and Jonathan Paris. So let's start with Peter Davis. Peter asked about when does criticism of Israel become anti-Semitism. My friend was here until just now, and he decided to leave as the question started. But his name's Neil, and he and I have a common, we have a joke with each other. Is that he often comes. He's my agent as well. He comes to when I speak. He comes to the event and he says, "All right, I'll give you 10 minutes. We could be speaking about anything. The last time we had a conversation, it was about something completely, entirely unrelated. It was actually at the Frontline Club, and the conversation that we were having was about free speech and cartoons, and someone put their hand up. He timed it. He said, I'm going to time it now. Someone put their hand up and said, but what about Israel? And it's a running joke between Neil and me, is that it literally, you can check your pulse according to the timing that it takes for somebody to say, what about Israel? Now, I happen to belong to a political party that has a member of parliament belonging to it called David Ward. And what he did is that when people were murdered in Paris for expressing themselves, and others were murdered for being Jewish and for no other reason, he tweeted, Je suis Palestine. Now, we can reverse that, and I hope Muslims, if it were reversed, would just feel how hurtful such a sentiment at such a time can be. So we've heard here reference made to the Chapel Hill murders. We don't yet know what the motivation was, but they were 3 Muslims. They were visibly Muslim. two ladies wearing a headscarf and a man. Just imagine a member of parliament, after the brutal murder of these 3 innocent Muslims, tweeted, "Je suis Israel." You know, you'd be horrified. All of you here would be horrified because you think, my God, you know, that makes Israel look bad. You know, it's just appalling that somebody could tweet "Je suis Palestine" as if somehow it's an answer. Because that's the only implication one can take from it. Now, of course, it goes without saying that if Pakistan decides to send trained terrorists from Kashmir into India, I, of Pakistani descent, should not be attacked on the streets of London for it. It goes without saying, and unfortunately it has to be said time and time again, because in the case of Jews, it keeps happening. And that's when you know that something that is, you know, disguised as anti-Israel criticism is in fact anti-Semitism. You know, use the disproportionate test. Use the relationship test. What on earth does it have to do with anything? And so that's in answer to the first question.
Were you kind of making it up, or was it?
No, it's legit.
It's legit.
But I was really playing it up, how into it I am. And as we were leaving, I was still singing a little bit of that last.
Traditions, traditions. Without our traditions, our lives would be as shaky as a fiddler on the roof.